The text that we are going to take for the next couple of weeks is Sri Hanuman Chalisa. It's a stotra. It has been composed by one of the greatest saints, Goswami Tulsidas Ji. There are very many saints. If we read their life histories, we find that a small little incident in their lives has brought about a complete transformation in them. It's not that slowly they have walked the spiritual path. Suddenly they change. Some of the examples are Purandara Dasaru of Karnataka, Arunagiri Nathar of Tamil Nadu, Narayana Bhattattari of Kerala, and Goswami Tulsidas also. In the case of Purandara Dasar, his wife's nose ring, the nose ring that his wife was wearing, became the karana for his entire transformation. He was such a miser. He was so much attached to his wealth that he wouldn't even part with one little coin. But still, the transformation that came was total. Everything he gave up and he took to the Lord's name. Arunagiri Nathar, again, he was walking the wrong path, the path of unrighteousness, the path of adharma he was walking. So he was totally on the wrong. A small little incident, all that his sister said to him. I don't want to go into the details of all the incidents and the stories. It will take a long time. His elder sister told him something, said something, and that really went into his heart, and therefore a major transformation came to him. Similarly, Narayana Bhattattari also, lazy, wouldn't get up for the classes. His guru pulled him up once in front of all the disciples. A major transformation. It was like from black to white, that sort of a transformation. Similarly, in the case of Goswami Tulsidas Ji also. We won't go through the entire biography of the same. All that he did was he was very much attached to his beautiful wife. So once when she went to her maternal house, it was a little far away. He couldn't even stay one day without her. So what did he do? At night he decided to go to her maternal home. It was dark, it was raining. The river that he had to cross was all in floods. No boatsman would take him across. Yet he jumped into the river, swam across in the flood. He could have been swept away by the currents, but he didn't think about it. And then when he reached over there, her maternal house, it was totally dark, pitch dark. It was raining again. So he wanted to climb onto the first floor. Probably her room was on the first floor. So he saw a tree over there. He saw something like a rope hanging over there, which was actually a snake. He didn't even realize that. There's so much of a difference between a snake and a rope. When we touch, we will know. So he caught hold of the snake, considering it to be a rope, climbed onto the balcony, then went into a room. And then when she got a shock when she saw him in that condition, and she just said one sentence, if so much of attachment, if so much of bhava you had given to the Lord, today you would have been a God-realized man. That's all she said. That brought about a major transformation in his life. So we really never know when things can happen, in what place, in what time, under what situation transformation can happen. Only we should be aware and we should be lucky. So that brought about a major transformation, and then he gave up everything and became Goswami Tulsidas Ji. He is the one who has given to us the Sri Ramcharitmanas. Now this Hanuman Chalisa, as the name itself suggests, it's a glorification of Sri Hanuman Ji. Chalisa means there are 40 verses, so it is in meter form. When did he compose it? There are different versions. One says that he was very, very sick, crucial, no medicine helped him, and therefore at that point of time he composed the Hanuman Chalisa, and by reciting that he became completely cured. By composing it, he became completely cured. That is one version. Another version is he was taken away by the Mughal emperor and put into jail. And that at that point of time probably they tortured him also. And then in that crisis he composed the Hanuman Chalisa. So whatever be the background or the incident, we know that he composed the Hanuman Chalisa in a crisis situation. It's a remedy for a crisis situation. So therefore the tradition is, whenever we are in trouble, it can be anything, starting from physical ailment onwards. Hurdles come in our life, challenges come in our life, threats come in our life, we are sad, we are in grief, we are in sorrow, for whatever. The best remedy is Hanuman Chalisa. Take to the chanting of Hanuman Chalisa. Of course, Shraddha should be there, Bhakti should be there. And then when we take to Hanuman Chalisa, nothing is impossible for him. As we go through the stotra, we will see his glories. So sure, the Lord will come and protect us and give us whatever we want, whether it is materialistic or whether it is spiritual. Like I said, it all depends on our Shraddha Bhakti with which we connect with him. Now before we start the Hanuman Chalisa, the 40 verses, there are 2 verses which are called as Doha. And this Hanuman Chalisa has been written in the regional language, the local language over there. In Awadhi language it is. So neither it is in Sanskrit, neither it is in Hindi, but it is in the Awadhi language. So that it becomes very easy for people to understand, to be able to chant it, because it's in their local language. Ramcharitmanas also is in Awadhi language. In fact, the Lord instructed, he wanted to write the Ramayana in Sanskrit, but then Lord Shiva himself, we are told, gave darshan to Goswami Tulsidas ji and told him to compose the entire Ramayana in the Awadhi language, so that it will benefit the local people over there. So therefore, the Ramayana also is in the local language, Awadhi language. Hanuman Chalisa also is in the Awadhi language. Now before we enter into the 40 verses, the first 2 verses, so 40 plus 2, the first 2 are called as Doha. It's in their, in his local language, regional language, it is called as Doha. So the entire Hanuman Chalisa actually becomes 40 plus 2 over here. These 2 over here is something like our dhyana shloka. Whenever we take up to Bhagavad Gita chanting, Vishnu Sahasranama chanting, just now we finished it, there is always a dhyana shloka in the beginning. When we take up the Upanishads, there we call it as Shanti Pat. So over here also, these 2 verses over here, termed as Doha, is something like a dhyana shloka or a Shanti Pat. What is its importance over here? The teacher over here, before, here the teacher means Tulsidas ji. Before he enters into composing the Hanuman Chalisa, he is invoking the Lord. He is invoking his Guru, so that he becomes a fit empty instrument for the higher to flow through him. So it's not like how we all sit down to write a poem, where I is there, mine is there, and we write over there, and then we cancel out, we erase it, again write it, redo it, redo it, so many times. There is so much of our I and mine involved in any composition that we bring about. It's not like that in our masters. It's all just first attempt. It just flows out of them. What is flowing out of them? The higher is flowing out through them. So for the higher to come out of them unrestricted unobstructed. The instrument should be totally empty. It should be pure. It should be clean. It should be available for the Lord to do whatever He wants to do with that instrument. Nimitta matra. Bhagavan says in the Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, just become my instrument in my hand. I will accomplish whatever I want to accomplish through you. But the credit goes to Arjuna that he fought the battle. So therefore over here, the necessity of a dhyana shloka or a shanti pat or the doha over here. So the teacher over here is completely, he is already surrendered. He is already a realized master. But still, when a composition is coming out of them, they make sure that between the composition that is going to emerge out of them and the Lord, there is no block over there. Even a trace of an ego is not there in them. But from our standpoint, they completely and totally surrender themselves to the Lord, and they become just an empty instrument in the Lord's hand for Him to function. It's like an empty reed in the Lord's hand, in Krishna's hand, which becomes the flute over there. So the flute has got no, it can't tell Krishna, you play this raga or you play this tune. It's got no identity, it's got no individuality over there. Whatever the Lord decides to play, for that the flute should be available. It's an empty reed. Flute is an empty instrument. Similarly over here also, the master over here becomes an empty instrument, totally and completely surrendered, available instrument for the higher to flow through them. And for that, the dhyana shloka or the dohas are responsible. I mean, they invoke the Lord. So that by the time they finish the dhyana stotra, dhyana shloka or the shanti pat or the doha over here, it's not Tulsi Das Ji who is giving it out. Who is giving out the Hanuman Chalisa? The higher Bhagavan himself is talking about his own glories through this equipment which was available to him at that point of time. That is what makes all these stotras very, very divine, auspicious, very powerful. What is, after all, they are also words, alphabets, words, phrases put together. What is the difference between what they have given out and a poem that we write? It's very, very powerful. It's divine. It will stand for all times. Why? How it came out or how the composition emerged is very, very important. So for that, and for us also, whenever we enter into a satsang, wherever it is, online or offline or where we go somewhere, let's say to chant the Hanuman Chalisa, collectively we all go over there. Physically we have brought ourselves over there to the place, to the venue where we are going to chant. But mentally are we there? We may be still at home. So physically we have brought ourselves, but the mind may be still at home. I hope I locked the door properly. I hope I closed the windows properly. You know, so many things. Because when we come out of the house, so many things come along with us in our mind. We have not left it in our home. So when we come for a satsang or for a chanting, our mind should be at least relatively free of all these engagements, mental engagements. We have to disengage ourselves from all of them and be available for the chanting, be available for the satsang, or be available when we are hearing a master's discourse. Therefore, for us, a dhyana shloka or a shanti pat becomes very, very necessary and important. So in a satsang, both the teacher and the student, all of them will chant together. So a very conducive environment is being created collectively. Individually also, when we are chanting, we are not in a group, a very conducive environment is created in our own mind for the chanting or for hearing, whatever it is. So therefore the dhyana shlokas become very, very important. It helps us to connect with the higher, dhyana shloka or the shanti pat or the doha. So the first two are dohas over here. We will take it up, see the significance of it, the meaning behind it, not just the word meaning, and then we will move ahead to the chalis. So the doha, I'll read both the shlokas together and then we will take up the meaning. Shri Guru Charan Saroj Raja Nijamana Mukuru sudhari Baranau Raghuvar Vimal Jasu �𝐬𝐻𝐝𝐻 Chari Budheeheen Tanu Jannike Sumiro Pavan-क Buddhi Vidya Dehoo Mohee 𝐏𝐚𝐝𝐻𝐿𝐴𝐻 Actually, these two have been taken up from Sri Ramcharitmanas. So there in one particular place, these two come as a doha there. In one particular section, before the start of the section, these two are there. So it has been bodily lifted up from Sri Ramcharitmanas and put over here, and therefore by tradition we also chant these two verses which are there in Sri Ramcharitmanas before we enter into the chanting of Hanuman Chalisa. So we should know the source of these two verses. The source of these two verses is Sri Ramcharitmanas by Goswami Tulsidas Ji. So therefore, the meaning of this. Shri Guru, it starts with Shri Guru. So over here, the saint is invoking his own Guru. Hanumanji himself was his Guru. So Guru is being invoked over here. And when he says Guru, Shri is being added to it for the completeness sake. Shri Guru. Because our Guru is Parabrahma himself, whoever he be. Each one of us have got different gurus. But the Guru of all gurus is who? Is Parabrahma himself. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo, Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma. Guru is Parabrahma himself. That Parabrahma, who is he? He is none other than when he decides to do his Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, Karya, he himself becomes Prakriti and Purusha. The he aspect and the she aspect, or the spirit aspect and the material aspect, the energy aspect and the material aspect. We are not talking about he, she with respect to physical body. Whenever we are filling up a form, tick over there, male, female. We are not talking about that male and female over here. We are talking about two aspects of Brahman himself. He alone becomes Prakriti and Purusha. So Prakriti plus Purusha together is Purna, fullness. Lakshmi, Narayana, always. So when we call, we must call that couple. We leave Narayana alone and only call Lakshmi. Because Lakshmi for us represents material wealth. She won't stay with us. Therefore we say Chanchala, but our masters say she is not Chanchala. She will be only where Narayana is. So she will see, we have invoked her. So when we invoke her, she feels her concert also has been invoked. So when Narayana is not there, she will go away where Narayana is. She always stays with Narayana. Narayana always stays with Lakshmi. Inseparable they are. It's a completeness, it's a fullness over there. That is why Prakriti plus Purusha. That is why in all our pujas, vratas, whenever we call for the Purohit and say through them we are, let's say, performing a Homa or a Satyanarayana puja, anything, both of them, husband and wife, should sit. For fullness it is. Always together. So when we invite somebody also, Srimati and Shri, Mrs. and Mr. So when we invoke the Lord also, Lakshmi Narayana should be invoked. When we invoke Shiva, Parvati Parameshwara should be invoked. The Ardhanarishwara Stotra written by Adi Shankara very beautifully describes the Purusha aspect and the Prakriti aspect. Beautiful it is. Both of them look like they've got different characteristics, male and female. Lakshmi of course is not Narayana, Narayana of course is not Lakshmi, but how beautifully they align with each other, they gel with each other. That is why in the picture we always have both of them together. If Narayana is lying down on Adishesha, Lakshmi will be there. If he is on Garuda, Lakshmi will be there next time. If they are just standing also, both of them will be there. Krishna will always be with Radha or Rukmini. Venkateshwara, Srinivasa with Padmavati. Shiva always with Parvati. So it goes beyond they being a consort of the Lord. We are not talking like, he, she, he got married to her. It's beyond that. He represents the Shakta, she represents the Shakti. Both the Shakta and the Shakti are together. They can't be separated out. Rama always with Sita. Even Ganesha will always be with Siddhi, Buddhi or Siddhi, Riddhi. On either side, we are told that there is consorts. But then some will say he is a brahmachari, he is not married. It's not the way we look at the institution of marriage. His Shaktis are placed on either side of him, including Swami Ayyappa. His Shaktis are there on either side of him, Purna and Pushkala. So it goes beyond what we think of as a wedding or a marriage. So always whenever we invoke both together. So therefore, Shri Guru, Guru can be replaced by Om also. Shri is there. Om is made up of three matras, Uma. Shri is also made up of Shara, E. Both are equivalent with each other. Equally they are powerful. Why? 50-50. Ardhanarishwara. 50% of his body is the male aspect, 50% of the body is female aspect, right side and left side. It's all 50-50. It's not 75 and 25 or 80 and 20. It's not like that at all. So long ago, we do not know how many thousands and thousands of years ago. Beyond that also, from the time of creation, our name comes first. Stri comes first always. Lakshmi Narayana, Parvati Parameshwara, Sita Rama, Janaki Rama. We don't say Rama Janaki. So it's only nowadays we have not understood the significance of it all that we have started with women's rights, men's rights, who is more powerful, who should be more dominative. Both are equal. Both are needed for a home to run, for a family to run, progress, for a society and a community, a state and a country and countries to progress. Both are needed. The Prakriti aspect is also needed, the Purusha aspect also is needed. The Om factor is equivalent to or as powerful as Shri. The Shri is as powerful as Om. The Shri represents the Prakriti part. Om represents the Purusha aspect. So over here the teacher is invoking both when he says Shri Guru. All our masters are Lakshmi Narayana Swarupa. All our masters are Parvati Parameshwara Swarupa. So therefore Shri along with the Guru. So Shri Guru. What does Guru mean over here? Guru means teacher. In Sanskrit, Guru means actually it means heaviest. Heaviest not in terms of weight. Superior, supreme most, the best, the greatest, the noblest. In that sense, Ghana we say, Guru. And in the Guru Gita, which comes in one of the Puranas, Parvati asks Shiva, I want to know the greatness of Guru, Guru Mahatmya. She asks him and then he narrates. There are 350, I think, verses over there in the Guru Gita. Only the greatness and the glory of Guru. There, Shiva so beautifully gives to her what exactly Guru means. So So Gu plus Ru is equal to Guru. Guru is one who completely removes the ignorance that is there in us, the darkness that is there in us. What ignorance are we talking about? We are not talking about physics, chemistry, computer science, objective knowledges. We are talking about the subjective knowledge, the spiritual knowledge. It's ignorance. So spiritual ignorance must be removed. How to remove it? Spiritual knowledge must come in. Avidya must go away. For avidya to go away, vidya must come in. If darkness has to go away, light must enter into our lives. Who will do it? The Guru will do it. That person who helps to remove our spiritual ignorance is called as Guru. And it's not just we are only concentrating on our Guru, physically whoever was there in front of us. It's a Guru Shishya lineage that we are invoking, even when we invoke our own physical Guru who is there in front of us. So therefore the Guru doesn't become a person over there. He is not just an individual over there. He is an institution. He is a personality over there. He represents the entire hierarchy over there. Where does he sit on to give to us our discourses? Vyaspeeth, which is greater than Ishwarapeeth, Lord's Gaddi. Vyasa Gaddi is more superior. That is what Guru is. So Guru is one who removes the spiritual ignorance in us. Gu also indicates Guna. Ru represents Rupa. Therefore, Guru is one who has gone beyond Guna and Rupa. Guna means qualities, attributes. Rupa means form. We are all stuck in this Nama, Rupa, Guna, Kriya, Prapancha. Name, form, qualities and activities. Master is one who has transcended all of them. A Jivan Mukta has transcended all of them. The Nama, Rupa, Guna, Kriya, Jagat, he has transcended and become one with the nameless, the formless, the attributeless and the actionless, changeless center. Therefore, such a person who has gone beyond gunas and has gone beyond Rupa is termed as Guru. We use this term Guru to invoke him. And Guru also, according to the Guru Gita, is the most Shreshta mantra. Just as we have Rama mantra, Shiva mantra, Narayana mantra, Panchakshari, Ashtakshari, Dwadashakshari, so many we have. For Devi we have mantra. Every god has got, every deity has got his or her own mantra. All of them are great. But supposing we don't have any of the mantra, Shiva says you can take to Guru mantra. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. That Nama, that name Guru itself is so powerful. It is Shrestha, very divine, very potent. We can just hold on to Guru and walk the spiritual path. The Guru represents all of them. So now we know whom Tulsidas ji is invoking over here. So Shri Guru Charan Saroja. Charana means feet. Saroja means lotus. So the lotus feet of my Guru. Feet never look like lotus. But we always say lotus feet, lotus feet. Feet is something on which we stand on. If feet are not there, or if our feet are weak, not stable for whatever reason, we will collapse. We can't stand. So on what do we stand? On what are we rooted on when we are walking or when we are standing? It's our feet. So feet helps us to stand. We are well established on our feet. We are very stable on our feet. We say that. Similarly, a man of perfection, a Jivan Mukta, what is he standing on? He is also standing on something. All that we see is his feet. We are also standing on our feet. He is also standing on his feet. Isn't there any difference between the two of us? We are well established in ignorance, avidya. He is well established in knowledge. In fact, he has become the knowledge itself. He has become Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. He has become Satchitananda. What is he standing on? What is he rooted on? He is rooted in his knowledge. He is rooted in knowledge means he has experienced it. First step is to know. Shravana, then Manana, then Nididhyasana, and then completely to experience it. Anubhava has already happened. So he is rooted in that knowledge which he has experienced. He is rooted in beauty. What beauty? Sundara. Sundara is not a physical beauty. Everything that the Lord has created is beauty. Why? He is Sundara. Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram, when we say, in his Sundaratva, there is no opposite. At our level, we have beauty and ugly. That is our perspective. We see things beauty and ugly. But when we transcend our beauty and ugly, it's only beauty and beauty and beauty alone. Because why? Advaita status. So in Advaita, there is no Dvaita, there is no opposites. So he is rooted in, or he is well established on beauty, in beauty, capital B. Ananda, bliss. Where beauty is, symmetry has to be there. Ugly is asymmetry. Beauty is symmetry. So he is rooted in symmetry, capital S. He is rooted in balance. Nothing can shake him, come what may. Whereas for us, small little things, we are off balance. So he is rooted in his balance, inner balance, and which will give to him his outer stability also. He is so stable, come what may, nothing can happen to him. It's like waves coming and hitting the lighthouse, nothing happens to the lighthouse. Now all these qualities we can associate with the lotus. Lotus is very beautiful to look at. Perfect it looks like. Such a beautiful flower. Symmetrical it is. In water it balances itself so beautifully. And it also represents knowledge. Why? Only when the sun comes up, it blooms. The light of the sun is likened to knowledge. So therefore, the teacher's feet are associated with or compared with the lotus. Therefore, we say Charana Saroja, lotus feet. He is well rooted in it. Just as we are all rooted on our feet, the teacher also is rooted, or Bhagavan is rooted. Rooted in what? Standing on what? He is standing on knowledge. He is standing on perfection. He is standing on beauty, all bliss, symmetry, balance. That is what he is standing on. Since he is standing on that, he can give it to us. When we prostrate onto the Guru or to the Lord, we bring our head down so that it is in line with his feet. In our head is our intellect. So when we completely surrender and prostrate onto the teacher or onto the Lord, whatever is there, we are making our head, or we are putting our head in line with his feet. If we can connect with him without any wires, transfer has to take place. We will be able to receive from the Master, or we will be able to receive from the Lord what he is rooted on, or what he is standing on, or what he stands for. That is why Shri Guru Charan Saroj, lotus feet. Saroj, Charana Saroj Raja. Raja means dust. We always say dust of the Lord's feet. The Lord's feet itself is so sacred, so divine for all of us. His padukas even more divine. The dust of his feet even more divine. There is a very beautiful song by Tyagaraja Swami, the great musician saint. He belongs to the musical trinity. Tyagaraja Swami, Muthuswami Dikshitar and Shama Shastri. Tyagaraja Swami has written a very beautiful song. And he says, "Oh Lord, I have a doubt. Can you please clarify that doubt for me?" And what is the doubt he has? He says, "I want to know whether your feet are more great or whether your padukas are more great. Which is more noble? Which is more great? Which should I invoke? Should I worship your feet or should I worship your sandals? Your paduka should I worship? I've got a doubt now. Nobody can clarify it for me. You please clarify it for me." Why? He says, "Those who worshipped your feet got mukti moksha, entered into that state. But Bharata worshipped your paduka and he got you." It's a very sweet little song. He got you. He worshipped your paduka and he got you. I want you. Mukti moksha and all, you leave it. I don't want. Even Kulashekar Alvar says in his Mukundamala, glory of Krishna over there, "I don't want this mukti moksha and all those things and merge into you and all that. No. I just give me bhakti. I will be there and you must be there in front of me. And I should revel in your beauty." That's all he is asking for. So Tyagaraja Swami also writes over there, "Those who worshipped your feet attained mukti. I don't want all those things. But Bharata, who worshipped your paduka for 14 years, got you back. I want." So there's a doubt. He puts it into the form of a doubt. Now you tell me which is more superior. So we have the padas, the feet of the Lord, paduka, the sandals of the Lord, and we have the dust of the Lord's feet. What is so important about the dust of the Lord's feet, and what does he want it for? Charana Saroj Raja Nija mana Mukuru sudhari. Tulsidas ji is saying, my mind is very, very dirty. All our minds are dirty. Outside we may keep cleaning our house and polishing this and polishing that. The floor is spick and span. Everything is fine outside. What about the mind inside? It's like a garbage can in many of us. All sorts of things are filled in out. Clutter is there. Unwanted things are there. So all our minds are so dirty. It is so impure. Mala we call. So, and he likens the mind to a mirror. When the mirror is dirty, we can't see our reflection clearly in it. So what do? We clean up the mirror. So if the mirror for some reason has become very, very dirty, dust has settled on it, fine dust settles on it, then what do? We clean up the mirror. When we clean up, because with the dust our reflection will not be clear. So if we want a clear reflection of ourselves in the mirror, we have to clean up the mirror. So he says, my mind is so dirty. It's so impure. In that dirty, impure mind, how can I catch a beautiful glimpse of you? Not possible. Therefore, what should I do? I must also clean up this mind of mine, which he likens to a mirror. So therefore the cleaning agent, we have to use something with which we are going to clean this mirror called the mind. He says, Charana Saroja Raja, the dust of your lotus feet. I am going to take the dust and then clean up my mind. The mirror called my mind. So very beautiful over there. It just shows the surrender, it shows the bhakti, it shows the shraddha of the teacher over here. So he says, I want to use the dust of my Guru's lotus feet and clean up this mind of mine, which he has likened to a mirror. Now what is the greatness of dust we have to see? Raja means dust over there. And there he wants the dust associated with the feet of his Guru. What is so special about dust? Fine dust. It's all the journey of a hard stone up to becoming fine dust particles. If we ask a stone sitting over there and suddenly it has vanished, what happened to it? For some reason it became dust particle. If we can talk to the dust particle and ask, why don't you trace your journey? How did you become this fine dust which I can't even see, which has occupied all of space? it will tell us, the dust particles will tell us, I was a stone, solid stone over there. Maybe sitting on the wayside, near on the road, or maybe a stone in our garden, whatever it is. Stone is gross, sthula it is. We can hold it in our hand, we can catch it in our hand, we can feel it, we can weigh it also. It's got a form, it's got color. And we also say this stone belongs to this, the different names. What it is constituted of, the material, inherent material with which that rock is made or stone is made. So all of that is there. Now that stone is sitting over there, it's full of tamas. By itself it can't even move unless we push it. Leave alone it rising in the air. It can't. So what do we do to that stone? It has to be powdered and crushed. At once it will not become fine dust. Slowly, 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 this stone, which was one single solid stone, has to be slowly crushed. First it will be coarse. Little, small little pebbles we will get. Smaller stones. Still smaller, still smaller. It has to be ground and ground, that process of grinding over there. To make that stone into fine dust which we can't even see. How much of pain it must be going through the stone to reach that state called dust particles. It's not easy. If it had a mouth and if it had feelings, maybe it would have cried out also. Because they're crushing me, they're grinding me, they're pounding me. But that's what the stone goes through. It yields itself to the crushing, the grinding, the pounding. Slowly it becomes finer and finer and finer and finer. Means slowly the gross form is going away and it is becoming subtler and subtler and subtler and subtler until it becomes very, very fine dust. One dust particle we can't even catch in our hand, hold in our hand, weigh it. Very fine dust. So one stone has become millions of dust particles. We can't see it, but we know it's occupying the entire area. Whereas the stone was occupying one small little place over there. It's a very small area. But now when it has become dust particle, it can occupy the whole room and it also rises. Dust rises. This is the journey of a stone to becoming dust particles. So therefore, so much of importance associated with the dust of the Lord's feet. When we say the dust of the Lord's feet or our Guru's feet, this message must become very, very clear to us. We must remember this message. The teacher over there or the Lord over there is indicating to us, you are all now like stones sitting over there. It's maximum tamas in us, very little rajas and maybe a trace of sattva in us. So much of inertia. I is there, mine is there, solid identity is there. We, the mortal beings, what should we go through? We should go through the grinding and the crushing and the pounding, which is nothing but spiritual sadhana. When we slowly go through the spiritual sadhana, whatever path we take, bhakti, jnana, karma, etc., slowly we should become dust particles. Dust particle, name, what to call it? We call it dust particle, that's all. Where is the form? No form. What are its qualities? I can't even see to, allot some characteristics to it. But we know it is there. So that stone with Nama, Rupa, Guna and some activity, we use the stone for whatever it is, now has become Nama, Rupa, Guna, Kriya Rahita. For what activity can I use? Dust is there everywhere. Can we use it for anything? We can't. So therefore the stone becoming dust represents our own journey, spiritual journey, from the state of mortality to the state of immortality. Therefore, by association, we identify it with the Lord's feet. So when we see the dust that is clinging on to the Lord's feet, or the dust of our Guru's feet, this is the message that they are trying to send to us. We always say, I want my Guru to enter into my house. Why? The dust that is there on his feet must just fall on my, it'll do good to us. It'll do good to me. It'll do good to my house. The dust of their feet, I want it in my house. Therefore, we want them to enter into our house. We want the Lord to enter into our house. And we always say the dust of the Lord's feet, the dust of the Master's feet. So when we say dust, it just doesn't mean dust over there. Does it mean that their feet is not clean and therefore so much of dust sticking to it? It doesn't mean that at all. This is a beautiful message for all of us. Nature has got so much of message for all of us. It's an open university wherein we can learn so many things. So the dust of the Guru's feet or the dust of the Lord's feet should send us this message. So therefore, from the state of mortality, the Lord is saying change. And change is not easy. Change means walk the spiritual path, which is of course not easy for us at all. For that we need the Lord's grace, we need the Guru's grace. So therefore he is over here, the importance given to the dust of the teacher's feet. Shri Guru Charan Saroj Raja Nijamana Mukura sudhari. I don't want to take any other dust and clean up my mirror. I want to clean up this mind, this mirror called my mind, with the dust of my Guru's feet. Association over there. Bhakti, Shraddha automatically gets taken care of. So many other factors get taken care of. Why? The dust is associated with my Guru's feet. It's not the dust taken from anywhere else. Therefore, he says, I am going to clean it up. And after the mirror is cleaned up, the mind is cleaned up, what should we do? We've given a nice bath to our little child at home and put a nice clean, well dressed it, and we send the kid out, hoping that it'll go and come back like that only. What will it do? It'll go play with the mud over there. If it's raining, all the water, all the mud, everything sticking to it, it'll come back. Just now I sent you so clean, and look at the way now you have again come back. I have to again give you a bath now. So similarly over here also, we have cleaned up our mind mirror with so much of difficulty, with the help of the dust of our Guru's feet, means devotion over there. Shraddha, Bhakti, Sharanagati, all of them come. After we have cleaned up our mind, mind has become very pure, clean, no clutter inside. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, some extent all gone. What should we use it for? Again, should we enter into the marketplace, worldly, and become as bad as before? Then why did we clean the mirror? Why did we clean up our mind? To engage it back again in whatever it was engaged in earlier? No. The teacher says over here, Baranau, Raghuvar, Bimal, Jasu. I am going to do, Baranau means I am going to do Varnana of. Varnana means he is going to write over here, or he is going to say it out. Because Hanuman Chalisa. Actually it comes, I already did say in Ramcharitmanas. So I am going to describe, I am going to glorify. Whose glorification is he going to do now? Human beings? Varanavu, Jasa. Jasu means yasha, glory. I am going to do Varnana of, or I am going to sing your praises. I am going to sing your glories. Whose glories? Is it a mortal being? No. Raghuvara. Raghuvara means the best of the Raghu dynasty. He is Vimala Jasu. Mala means dirty. Dirt means finite over here when we associate with Jasu. Vimala Jasu means Bhagavan's divine glory. Vimala it is, divine it is, perfect it is. Never ever is Lord's glory, it doesn't shrink at any point of time. Whereas when we start talking about ourselves, we glorify ourselves once okay, twice okay, thrice okay. Afterwards, nobody wants to come near us. Why? She keeps on telling about herself. How much to listen? Everything is old, stale, boring, routine, monotonous. I already know about her. Bhagavan's glory is not like that. The more we enter into it, the more we enter into the stories of Rama or Krishna, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad, it seems fresh. Every time we enter into it, it seems fresh. It seems new. Never. Again and again we go into it. Every time it will reveal something more extra to us. Oh, this had never entered into my mind last time when I read. That is what is Bhagavan's glory. Hari Ananta, Hari Katha also is Ananta. So therefore, Vimala Jasu, his divine glory. In that glory, there is no defect, there is no shortcoming, nothing at all. That glory, whose glory? Raghuvara Vimala Jasu. I am going to do varnana of or describe the divine glory of the best of the Raghu dynasty. There it fits in because it is Ramcharitmanas. But over here it is Hanuman Chalisa. So how can Hanumanji become one amongst the Raghu dynasty? In the Ramayana, Rama calls him Putra, son, he addresses him. Mother Janaki, Sita, also addresses him as son. So he has become their son. Just like Lava and Kusha, Hanumanji is also their son. So when Hanumanji becomes the son of Rama and Sita, he automatically belongs to the Raghu dynasty. Even over here in the Hanuman Chalisa, Rama says, you are like my brother Bharata. So Rama has 3 brothers. Bharata, Lakshmana, Shatrughna. Hanumanji becomes one more brother over here. So in that sense, Hanumanji becomes a part of the family, Rama's family. And therefore he also belongs to the Raghu Kula or the Raghu dynasty. Therefore it gets justified. Baranau, Raghuvara, Vimala Jasu. Now why should we describe Rama's story in Ramcharitmanas or here Hanuman Chalisa? Why should Tulsidas ji glorify Hanumanji? What is the benefit we will get? Utility value for us always. What is it that I am going to get? So all our stotras, all our scriptures, including the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Puran, all of them at the end will tell us the benefit of going through it, reading or hearing. The benefit will be stotra. First time, once you chant this benefit, twice you chant this benefit, 3 times you chant this benefit. So always we want to know what is the benefit of singing Hanumanji's glory, Hanuman Chalisa. He says, Jo Dayaku Chari. All the 4 Purusharthas will become ours. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. This is only 4, no 5th one over there. All that we are engaged in our worldly activities or spiritual activities is only for these 4. He says all the 4 will come to you. You want dharma, you want artha, you want kama, you want moksha, all will be given to you. What more do we need? And see the sequence over there. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Should it be in that sequence only? Yes, it should be in that sequence only. What is dharma? Knowledge, values. In the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan is enumerating values for us. He calls it as knowledge. So dharma stands for values, dharma stands for knowledge, dharma stands for the law of living, right way of living. First that should come into us, values must come, knowledge must come. After that dharma, then enter into your field of activity and then earn. If dharma is on our side, we will never go and earn by unfair means. But if dharma is not there, knowledge is not there, values are not there, we will engage ourselves and try to earn the wrong way, corruption. So our artha means our means of livelihood, gaining wealth into our lives should be solid backed on dharma. So first dharma. Then with in Bhajagovindam, Adi Shankara says, Nija karma. Do your karma properly. Vittam, from that you get wealth. Then who's stopping you? Enjoy it. So first, therefore, the foundation for us should be values. Foundation for us should be knowledge. Materialistically or spiritual. Then after that we enter into our fields of activity and then earn profession, career, etc. If we are solid standing on dharma and values, we will never enter into the path of adharma. Never. So whatever we earn will be all right means, rightful means, artha. With that, what you have earned, Shankara says, enjoy. Means desires are there, kama. Go ahead and fulfill your desires with the money earned through dharma. The sequence over there. Dharma must be there, then comes artha, then comes kama. And after having sufficiently gone through this worldly life, if maturity comes to us by Lord's grace, then we will say, no, I have everything in my life, everything. But still, somewhere I am feeling a sense of incompleteness. Then we will turn towards moksha. Mumukshatva will come to us. That in craving and longing for something higher, why everything is there in my life. Name it, it is there, but still I am feeling incomplete. I don't feel fulfilled. I don't feel contented, satisfied. Something more is there to get added into our lives, to make us whole, to make us complete. What is it? Moksha. So, moksha at the end. So, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. All of them you will be able to get in your lives. He says, if we go through the stotra over here. For us, dharma is not there, moksha is not there, artha and kama only we are doing our vyavahara in. Therefore, we are where we are, individually and collectively. So, this was the training given in the Gurukula system. So, how beautiful our institutions were. It was like this. Students, disciples were taught, and they were also told how they should proceed in their lives to progress. For us, there is no dharma, there is no standard of life, there is no value, there is no knowledge at all. Mukti, moksha, we have not even heard of it. In between over here, I want money. Why? I want to fulfill all my desires. And what desires? Sky is the limit. To fulfill all of that, I need a lot of money, wealth. How will I get it? Any means is okay. So this is where our modern education has failed in all our lives. So everything should be backed by knowledge and values. That should be the foundation, fundamental. So dharma, artha, kama and moksha. All of them, the teacher says, it will come to you. When will it come to us? When we sing the praises of Raghuvar, when we sing the praises of Hanuman Chalisa, his divine glories, when we sing his praises with Shraddha and Bhakti, nothing is impossible in our lives. And for that we need a clean mind. How will we clean up our mind? By invoking the grace and the blessings of our Guru. Guru and God, Lord are not two. Both of them are the same. So this is the first verse of the Doha. There is one more which we will take up in the next class.